What's up guys, Sam Adams here and welcome to the Far Cry Primal Let's Watch, which is something that I came up with earlier in the year whenever E3 was going on. I saw these trailers coming out, I wanted to watch all of them, and I thought what better way to do so than to sit down with you guys virtually, watch them all at the same time, and then comment about what is in the trailer down below, what we think of it, the content, how we think the game is going to be, whatever we want to say in the comment section down below. So as far as Far Cry Primal goes, it was accidentally leaked on an IGN website a couple of days ago that Far Cry Primal was supposed to be the next Far Cry game. There had been a little bit of news, but it was pulled very quickly. And so today, Ubisoft has went ahead and released the full trailer out here on YouTube. So without further ado, let's go ahead and watch it together. Alright, inappropriate for children, obviously. Ooh, a little camera shake. I'm liking that. Mammoth. Mammoth.
Mas brashtar. Winja.
Wonder what language that is. He just invented fire. So they're not necessarily primal, but they are advanced somewhat. Okay. Tribe. Water does not look that good. That looks good. I'm liking this music. Those are big animals. Whole flock of mammoths. Reminds me of Skyrim.
Suwan brashtar.
That was reminiscent of Far Cry 4 right there at the end. Oh! So another tribe came and attacked. February 23rd, 2016. How about that? That's coming up pretty quick, actually. Okay, so now that we've watched the trailer and I've had a couple of minutes to gather my thoughts, I have one major problem with this entry into the Far Cry franchise. So think back to Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4. You had Voss, which was the most prominent enemy in Far Cry 3, and of course everyone really connected with Voss. He felt like the bad guy, but he also felt like just this lovable, crazy lunatic who was very dangerous, and he was just a great character. Then you had Pagan Min in Far Cry 4, and he was very psychotic in the most sensible and civilized way, and he was a very sophisticated yet dangerous villain. He almost had an underlying feeling about him to where you knew he was dangerous 100% of the time and that he could kill you whenever he wanted to. And that's one of the things that I love the most about Far Cry is the way that Ubisoft tells a story. They really get into it and they develop the characters in such a way that in Far Cry 3 I got connected with Jason Brody. I felt like I was in his shoes where he had become stranded on this island and he had become engulfed in the island itself. In Far Cry 4, I didn't really get that involved in the story as much as I did in Far Cry 3, but Pagan Min, I completely connected with him and I understood where he was coming from, and the way that the story worked I thought went really well. Although it wasn't the best game of the year, it was still a very good game. And that's one of the things I love the most about Far Cry, is that it's just, you get sucked into the story and sucked into the world of Far Cry. With this Far Cry Primal, it looks great. And I like the idea of it. I like the idea of a tribal versus, another tribe. Two tribes fighting against each other, trying to dominate the land of the other tribes. Just because I feel like that's the way they would go. Because, you had to capture outposts in Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4. I feel like you might have to capture camps or something for other tribes in Far Cry Primal. And I think that that aspect of the game would work very well. Hunting mammoths, hunting tigers, hunting all these different exotic animals would go pretty much the same way it was in Far Cry 4 without the technology. So far, they haven't seen any technology. I'm not sure what year this is, but obviously this is either a long time ago or a very primal island that hasn't been touched much by civilization. So with all of that being said, the one thing that I have a problem with is that these people don't speak English or, Obviously, they're speaking some kind of ancient tongue. I'm not really sure what language this is, but obviously they're not really going for so much of a narrative, and it's going to be very hard to do what they did in Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4 if they continue this, more gameplay, more experience-driven kind of game rather than a story, and that's something that we haven't really seen in the Far Cry franchise for a long time. It's always been primarily about the battle between good and evil, or what your perspective of good and evil is. And with Far Cry Primal, I feel like it's very upfront. It's all about survival. It's all about, defying nature, defying the odds, killing these mammoths, fighting against other tribes, and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see how they go forward and try to make a narrative story out of this, because at the moment I can't really see that happening just because of the way they've set up Far Cry Primal. It feels a lot more like you have a spear, a bow and arrow, some rocks, you can make a fire and stuff, but other than that, the machine guns, all of the, giant explosions and things like that, like we've come to expect in the Far Cry games, along with the narrative story, it just seems absent. So, February 23rd, that's not too far off. That's actually pretty close considering that this game was officially announced today. It's like the, 6th of October? That's not too long of a period of time to wait between now and the release date, so it'll be interesting to see over the next couple of months how they try and sell old Far Cry fans on this game, because at the moment I'm not completely sold on it, and just the fact that they haven't had that much time between Far Cry 4 and Far Cry Primal, unless they have two different studios working on it, I'm not entirely 100% sure that I'm on board with this kind of game this early in the life cycle. You know what I'm saying? It's been too soon, and it seems like it's lacking some of the elements that the other Far Cry games really shine through. So there you guys have it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, drop me a like down below and comment what you think about this trailer. Do you think that Far Cry Primal is going to be the best one in the franchise? Do you not like the way things are going? Do you think that it's going to change stuff around just enough to give a fresh twist on Far Cry itself? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And if you are new to the channel or you've never seen any of my other videos, be sure to head over and check out some of that other content. I upload new videos like 3 or 4 days a week depending on the week, so there's always something new right here whenever you drop by to watch some videos. And as always, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching this particular video. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.